Greetings. So the project today that I'm going to be doing is something that I came up with when I was making our desk for our office, which will be a whole DIY thing that I'll do separately from this. But I thought it would be cool to do Shoshugibban on some picture frames. If you don't know what that is, there are 1,000 videos on YouTube and Pinterest and everywhere. This is not an original idea. It's based off of something pronounced, I'm not sure how, but it starts with a Y. It's more the decorative version of how you burn wood to seal it, but we've kind of Americanized it and turned it into a way to just be decorative, and so it doesn't have to be well done, quite frankly. You can just use any kind of torch. I'm going to use a little like a kitchen torch, which is what I also use to do my epoxy projects, but I did it kind of accidentally once on wood and it looked really cool. So I'm going to do that. And then again, not an original idea, but I saw this on Pinterest of using some unicorn spit to also stain the wood. So I thought that would look cool on some picture frames. I've seen it done on like turntables and it looks really cool. On tabletops it looks really cool. I haven't seen a lot of picture frames. There are some, but I kind of wanted to try it myself. And this seems like something that anybody could do. So I'm going to show you how I do it. And if you want to do it yourself, this is how I do it. I will have links below on the products that I use exactly, so you can buy them for yourself. Again, I find a happy medium between cheap and quality not being cheap. So everything is very affordable. I tend to buy things in packages. These came, I did 3 different sizes. I have 8x10s here, I have 5x7s, and I have 4x6s, just because I wanted to play with everything. So we'll see how this goes, and here we go. First thing I'm going to do is remove the cardboard, because I'm guessing that the cardboard is going to burn a lot easier than the wood, so I don't want that to happen. These are cool. They come with just, it's like just a fiberglass. So it's not glass, so I'm not going to break it. And the wood, that's feeling, these are really well made. Again, these were, what is this, Wallniture frames. These were pretty good price on Amazon. I have the link below. I could be doing this with some tool, I'm sure, to spare my fingers, but here we are. These do, yes, these do have a film on them to protect them from scratching. Oh, not the front, just the back. Interesting. Okay. So this guy is what I use on my epoxy projects as well. It's just a kitchen. It is covered in crap because I used a lot. And then, you know, just the refillable. Anyway, this is not the main one I've used, but that's my riffle. I have used one entire can for over 100 square feet of epoxy projects. And I've burned, what else did I do? Oh yeah, the office desk, I use this on too. So this lasts a long time. One of these lasts a long time. So here we go. I haven't used this in a while. Let me see if I can remember how. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay. Let's see how it goes. One at a time. Smarter. All right. So you just, I always go with the grain. I know people say they do, ooh, that's cool. And I won't be too worried about lighting it on fire. Okay, so there's the first bet. That looks pretty cool. Maybe the insides too. And honestly, you could leave it like this. See where I kind of went back and forth and it got darker in spots? That's what I usually like to just do follow one grain at a time. A lot of people do it this way, and I think that leaves like obviously like chunky pieces like this. So I'm gonna even that out a little bit. There, that's a little better. There, but yeah, so that's kind of what not to do. I don't like the chunks like that. I like to just follow one grain. I haven't seen a lot of people suggest that. I don't know why, but that's a thing to do. And also this is probably darker than I would normally go. I'm kind of gonna do one just as wood, just to see how it looks, but let's keep going here. So more follow the grain. There, I think that looks a lot better. It's less spotty. is also weirdly satisfying. I've always liked playing with fire, but that's probably another issue. And it's not hot to the touch, like right after you do it, it's a little bit, but the dog. Ooh, that's cool. And also just cool, like different wood patterns leave different effects, obviously, with different wood grains. So no two of these are ever going to be the same. So you don't ever want to try to copy exactly what someone else is doing because it's not going to look the same. But that's really cool. I like how that, see? So now we're going to do the outside edges. Kind of like that. Here we go. Got the line a little better. Okay. This is a lot easier on frames than on an entire desktop, I'll tell you that right now. I don't know, should I do the back sides? Nah. Okay. That was the, what is that, 4x6? Now we'll do this. Ooh, I think that's gonna look cool. Let's move it so I don't burn it twice. All right, let's see here. Pretty cool. You can see that one up close. Cool. Okay, the edges. There's also something about this that like reminds me of my grandparents' house. Like, just it's a very kind of old, aged feel to the wood now. Just something that would be in a hunting lodge, which I'm very familiar with, having grown up on a hunting preserve. But we're gonna arts it up. Just more my speed. Okay, inside edges, obviously there's no correct way to do the you know, whether you start in the front or the sides or whatever. It all blends really nicely. You can't tell like where it started, so that's nice. Let's do these quick. And also, the faster you go, the lighter the effect will be. Obviously, because you're not burning things as intensely as spots. I have noticed on the office tabletop that I did, if you have knots, you really got to burn those. It takes a while. Okay, that one's pretty cool too. Now the big guy. I also really want to do this on something like huge, like a 24 by 36 or something. I have some posters that I want to hang, not in just typical black frames, and I think this would be cool just to get some scrap wood and make my own frame. That'll probably be a whole other project, which I will need someone to babysit my kids while I do it. Because, you know, toddlers around open flame, generally not a good idea. Ooh, that looks neat. I'll do a close-up of this in a sec. Okay. So this is another thing I found. It's like knots look cool, and then you can kind of see here just a little like striations. Leave cool little lines, cool little mark, like how it was cut. I think this is just how it was cut. You can see like the blades. It just adds a kind of a cool different effect. Where'd I stop? There we go. Also, now that I'm getting smarter, if your thumb gets tired, a lot of these have a lock. Mine is just like jammed with epoxy, so I don't think it'll do it anymore. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Awesome. You just gotta remember where you're aiming it while you're doing that. You can also create your own grain lines if there's a chunk like that that's just solid. So just do it in strips rather than doing the whole thing. See, so that kind of made its own crap. Okay, that kind of made my own grain lines where there weren't any before. You just kind of see, this would be just whole solid thing, but you can make just strips, just leave parts that you don't do, and it turns out fine. There, see, so I kind of made my own gaps. Otherwise that would just be solid burn, which is not the look I'm going for. Yeah, so it's just, I don't know how I can see that. But it adds cool little marks. Yeah, so that's nothing that I did special, just that's how the different wood made its own thing. I also don't entirely think it goes with the rest of it, so I'm gonna blend it out a little better. There we go. That is it for the fire portion of our program. So there's that, and there's that. They'll look kind of cool as they are. Probably leave some plain, but that's not what I'm doing right now. So I'm gonna give my thumb a little break, and then I think I'm gonna do all this color because the pictures that I want to put in them, I think will look good with that color. So I'm gonna give these a second to cool down. But they're pretty okay. It's not gonna take long. And then most people, you'd sand it a little bit if you were like really charring them. But when you do it this light, you don't necessarily need to do that. Especially since I'm gonna do a poly on the edge of them, and it's not like it comes off. So I'm not gonna sand these. This is a really light wood. I think it's pine. Probably should mention that earlier, but pretty sure it's pine. So that, yeah, it all feels really good. There's no like rough parts. If you really char a chunk, I would sand that. I did that on spots on the office desk, which I'll put pictures up of since I keep referencing it. But okay, we're gonna give these a second and then I'll do the stain. Okay, these have dried a little bit. I'm gonna read you the label instructions on this. This is gonna be riveting, but I've never used this before, so I've seen it done, but it's, you know, shake well. The jasmine scented vibrant color stain allows you to create unparalleled finishes on furniture, home decor, blah, 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 blah. So basically, I did read this before, but if you want a subtle color to it, add water. They have percentages, it says, recommendations of like stain to water on their website. I'm just gonna wing it. You don't have to pre-treat the wood, which is good. You know, just make sure it's clean, dry, test small area, blah, blah, blah. You can apply this with a brush or a foam pad or whatever. Spray with water. If you're doing a big section, spray with water. I've done that with just stain too. It helps you not have obvious like spurts of where you're going as you're going, but these are pretty small, so I don't think I need to do that. Yeah, just blah, 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 general instructions on here. But I am going to do it thicker, I think, so I'm not going to dilute with water as much. Okay, here's a little mom hack One, I stole their craft brushes. I will probably need to buy my own. But if you have a ton of Play-Doh things laying around, these are a great size for mixing paint, and they even come with a lid so you can save paint if you can. But these are great for small projects. This is one of those, it came in like a pack of 64 and they don't get anymore because it was all over the floor. So I've been collecting these as they ruin it, but these are a great size. So that's just a little mom hack. If your kids are into Play-Doh, you get something out of the end of it other than sweeping up a very colorful mess at the end of every day. So I'm gonna use these to mix. Okay. Now we're open. Okay, let's see. Let's see how thick this is. Set that much, see what happens. Set that here. So anyway, this mat is awesome, and I don't like to waste you know, putting new plastic down every time. So this is a big like silicone mat that I got, which is awesome for other projects. I mean, you can see paint. I have not cleaned it very well, but that's what that is. Okay, so let's just see what this does. Okay. Yeah, a little bit goes a long way. Probably should have known that. Ooh, I like it. I think I am going to dilute it a little bit. Yeah, like short strokes, long strokes, doesn't seem to be making a difference. Yeah, I'm going to dilute that a bit. Because like you can see the bird, but it's not coming through as much as I'd hoped. Okay, see that level? Ooh, that's cool. Okay. So yeah, like with any stain, you just wipe it and it comes down. That's looking really cool. Kind of like it. Gives it an aged, but I am gonna water this down. Yeah, that's better. There we go. That's more what I want. Yeah, this stuff's pretty cool. Like you can tell it's stain, but it also feels like paint. So yeah, like again, like any stain, if you do want it thicker in spots, you just go over it again with another coat. It's fine. And I like that this doesn't streak like at all. Granted, I put, you know, wood burning here and there, so you can't really see streaks anyway, but that's pretty cool. Yeah, I can see where a foam pad would be. You know, those little foam painters are like 99 cents. Probably have to dip that less, but here we are. Too rich for my blood. Yeah, the burned parts you really got to put it on if you want the color to come through. But I kind of like that. Okay, here's a close-up. It's still wet. I have not done the sides. But look at that. Isn't that cool? So that's really pretty. All right, I'm do the outside. Wow, they're not kidding. This does smell like it's like jasmine. That's so weird. But it's kind of pleasant and relaxing as I'm painting. So So yeah, I will say that if you don't dilute it, it just kind of looks like paint. The diluted is where I'm seeing the stain. See, that's much more. You can see where the thicker stuff, like right along here, this looks like paint. This is diluted, and it looks like stain. Which I'm gonna do thicker. There we go. Even that out a little bit. Yep. So right there you can see where I stopped using the thick stuff. Do the water. So we need to blend that out a little bit better. But yeah, not bad. It's one of those things that only I will be able to tell when it's done. Yep, already looks better. Getting right out here. I will say I noticed that if you do the edges like that, obviously you're gonna get some drips down the sides. Be sure to. But it says, oh, okay, that is all. Every side now. Every side, I'm sure I missed spots and I will want to redo. But yeah, wow, that's like dry already. That's awesome. All right, there's that one. Speed through these other two. Okay, I know I said I was just going to speed through the other one, but look at that. That's really cool. It's like little waves. That's just really cool. All right. And even on this thicker part, it is making the whole thing green tinted, so that's cooler than I had hoped. Yeah, that's neat. So the little 4x6, this one's cool. Okay, so close up. Look at that. I thought that the darker, like where I really, really burned it, I thought maybe might not be as cool, but it does look really neat. The sides. See, where it's really, really burned, it still comes through. Yeah, that one's really cool. Okay, next. Last one done. So in a do as I say, not as I do kind of way, look at all that I have left. And you saw how much I squirted in the beginning. So I'm probably going to quick do another set just to use this up because I don't want to waste it. But so really just like one good squirt probably would have done 3 frames. And obviously I've barely touched the bottle. So that's going to last me a long time, which is awesome. Yeah, I love how the different wood patterns end up different every single time touching up as I'm talking to you. But so this is the last one. Again, just you never know what's going to happen with the wood pattern. I really like this. This is totally weird how this is like straight and then that's cool. Little darker edges. And you see the sides, the stripes. Yeah, this just makes a really cool effect rather than just straight staining your wood. Burn it first. And then it looks really cool. Hi, so I ended up giving the frames a good 24 hours to sit. I meant to just do it overnight, but I got busy. So I gave them 24 hours because you always want to let stains or paints or whatever kind of see what they're going to do, give them time before you apply and kind of like poly or clear coat just to be sure. I also in that time ended up using my extra frames, and I did 3 more colors. These came in a set and I just kind of wanted to see what they would do, and I had time, so I did them. So this was Dolly Firebird was the red, and Violet Vulture, purple, and Golden Gosling was the gold. So those all have glitter in them, so they made slightly different effects on the frames. They obviously don't look as natural, but they look kind of cool and shiny. And so going along with that shiny, I did end up putting a glossy clear coat, kind of a poly. It's this stuff. It's actually what I use for countertops. Just I have a ton of it, so that's what I use. You can just use a normal poly and that would work just fine. But so I did that to all of the frames. I also burned another just plain frame. So I have the plain one. I ended up having enough in that little batch to do 2 green sets, and then I did 1 set of each of these. So got those all done. That went on nice. I have them over drying. They should be dry soon, so I will show you those, and then I will show you how I'm just going to display them for now to show you how that works. I will also show you, since I'm putting them in my office, I will show you the desktop that I have been talking about through this whole process. That will be another blog post probably on how I did that. But so that's just a quick update on how I did the poly and finished them up. I did some video, but doing clear poly is not a very interesting video, so you can just imagine how that happened. And I again have this all up on my blog up to this point to show you how I did everything and how I walked through. So see you in a bit, show you how they're turning out. So over here on my drawing rack are the green with the gloss poly applied. So it's not too shiny unless it catches the light, which is just kind of nice because you don't expect to see anything reflective on wood. So it's got the grain pattern there, and again, this is without the sparkle, just the green. But I really like how the green ones turned out. Here's the other set. Here's this one goes with that, but like that. So here's the red. It does look nice if you like a little more sparkle. It kind of also just really catches the light nice with the gloss. So yeah, not bad. And I'll show you the purple here. It's purple. And it does look nice. Just the wood came through a lot more too. As I was putting the poly on, it wiped the stain a bit. So I wouldn't bother necessarily wiping the stain off if you want it to be lighter. The poly brush did a lot of that. I think it looks nice on the gold too, with the sparkle, the gold, and then the wood just adds a nice little effect there. All right, so that is all of them. I will go hang these up to show you how they look with pictures in them. And we'll do that in my office so you can see the desk too. That I keep talking about, I will have a full blog on how I did this, but you can see the wood pattern is very distinct on this, and the burn. This also has a light poly on it. So that's that. All right, so of course my printer died before I could get enough printed off to fill all of the frames, but here they all are standing up with shameless self-plug here, my own printable wall art that is available on my website and on Etsy. But I just needed something to quick throw in the frames to show how they're done. So this guy is the one without any poly, just natural burn. Looks very cool with a nature picture in it. The gold, the green, another green, red even looks good, purple, got another gold up here, the green, and the purple. It is kind of cool because while these kind come with the normal picture backs, the big ones come, they've got little stands that go with them, which is nice. So again, if you're getting these exact frames, that is an option.
So there's all of them. If you want to do this yourself, you know know how. If you want to buy these exact frames, I will have those available on my website as well. Have a good day.